my overall feeling is, while we didn't get to meet in person in April, it's going to be the event when it happens.
Hello, it's John Bernanovich, president and founder of Willory, and I'm super excited to be joined by Mary Thames, HCM consultant from ADP. We are continuing our journey as it relates to keeping you informed, our DisruptHR Columbus followers, on all that's going on in the Columbus community as we look to continue the conversation about DisruptHR. We at this point still do not have a date set for the event. We're waiting to see how this kind of return to work and everyone as we enter into this summer is adjusting to life with COVID, as well as just balancing back into work and all that goes with that. And so I was hoping to get Mary's thoughts on a variety of topics today. So Mary, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
You got it. You got it. Long overdue. And I know Mary, as a former ADPer myself, I know we could probably spend an hour just talking about that, but we won't bore all the other people that didn't work at ADP because I know
that's a good idea.
Yeah, some inside stories that go there that we could probably maybe we should do that over a drink or something else, because that we probably might need it in that respect. But tell me what you've been up to the last few months, Mary, and adjusting to all that's been going on.
So in the last 2 months, the whole world shut down the same time I had surgery. So it's been a little bit of a chaotic mess at the Thames house. For those of you that don't know, I had shoulder surgery, but I'm back in action at ADP as of 2 weeks ago. But the 10 weeks prior to that, I was on medical leave, and I thought that I'd be able to just hang out at home and watch Netflix and take a break from life. But no, that's not what happens. There are different plans out there. So I became a teacher of 3 children ranging from 9 years old to 13 at 3 different schools with one arm. It was delightful.
So was the PE class the hardest ones you had to do? Like
We actually did PE class, and it's a challenge when you only have one arm. So I watched, and I was the teacher, so I didn't really have to participate in the PE class, but yeah. We did our PE and art classes, so we did get all of that done.
Good for you. Good for you. And I'm sure your kids and you will never forget that, right? Having gone through that experience the last couple months, and certainly been unique in an adjustment. Yeah.
We've gotten really close. That's all I could say about that.
Yes. Yeah. I can tell having a family of 4 total that closeness is good like 95% of the time, but that 5% is really bad, right? Like, do I walk around my house?
A lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of walks that turned into longer runs that when I was able to, and just tried to get a little bit of my own peace of mind back. So yeah.
Dad's taking a ride. Where's he going? I don't know. When's he going to be back? I don't know. He just needs a break, right?
Yeah.
Peaceful time in the car.
Life.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh, that's cool.
Amen to that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I do know. It's funny. I was just talking to a colleague today about this, that it's been nice to have some things just slow down a bit and not feel like you're going, in 6th gear, 100 miles an hour all the time.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, we're still going, but not that fast. It doesn't feel like.
We had a different event every single night with the kids for as long as I can remember, because they all play different sports or in band and other things, and had, private lessons or whatever. And it's probably a problem that I shouldn't complain about, but it is nice to just slow down. And that time together was nice, and family game nights, and just doing things a little bit differently and taking a break from being crazy all the time, actually eating dinner at a decent hour. I was very proud of that. So, but it was different, but it was nice. It was a good, fresh air, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. So Mary, before we get into, and I think the main thing we want to talk about is what you're seeing in the HR community and how your company and what you do at ADP helps those clients. So maybe before we get into that impact, maybe you could share just a little bit about what your role is at ADP and what you focus on.
Yep. So I've been with ADP for 8.5 years now, which I can't even believe at this point. But my current role and the role I've been in for the past several years is working with clients throughout the Columbus and Dayton regions in that mid-market space, and working with their executive teams in HR and finance, and bringing all the pieces of the puzzle together to really ensure that we have alignment with their business and their overall strategies, and aligning the right tools and solutions to bring their business forward or keep their business continuity as they face challenges like we're currently in with remote workforce and things like that. So that is my current role with ADP, and obviously focused on just making sure anybody that uses ADP in the great state of Ohio has someone to call if they need support, and that would be me. Wonderful.
Yeah. No, I really have appreciated you, as we are connected on LinkedIn, the number of insightful information, even in the midst of COVID and after that, of resources available to your clients and to obviously the social media community, because it was overwhelming trying to figure out what was going on and when to do what and where, and it's still obviously an adjustment everybody's kind of working through. So thank you for doing that. I know it's important.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. I want to make sure everybody has the resources that they need to make the right business decision. So it's my pleasure.
So what are you hearing from your clients? So you said you're dealing with executive leadership and HR, payroll, accounting professionals. Like what are you hearing currently now?
Yep. So I have a varying mix of industries that I serve. So I do have quite a few essential businesses that I serve, as well as some that have moved into a more remote environment. And I think that number one, the most important thing for the folks that I've been in contact with is they just want to make sure that their people are safe and healthy, and they're trying to do the right things, not only by the government legislation, but for their employees. And I know that's been very much top of mind, or making sure that they're getting their pay to their employees in this new remote environment. Making sure that from a business standpoint, that if they needed to apply for these loans, for the PPP loans and things like that, just having the right information to make those decisions. So I think number one is caring for their people has been the most important thing out of all of this. Beyond that, I think that it is transitioning to a workforce that's now remote. That's been new for many businesses. Just like you and myself, we've had the opportunity to work from home as needed, or you've worked from home for a long time. So we're used to that luxury. Other companies aren't. So they're trying to find spaces in their house where they can be a teacher for their kids during this past couple of months. And then, also being able to take care of their employees. There's just so much around. So I've heard a lot of, again, taking care of their employees. How do I work remotely? How do I communicate effectively to my employees about what's going on, whether they are coming into the building every day and with the new protocols, or, they are working from home? Engagement has been a concern for a lot of HR leaders. Like, how do I know that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing? How do I know that they're productive? So I've been hearing, again, a lot of different adjustments and changes. But again, the most important thing that I've heard and we're trying to fix for is really making sure their employees have what they need to get through this time.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I think from what I saw when it initially happened and everyone that was non-essential was forced to work remotely, and then obviously at the same time we had the unique opportunity to then also, if you had children, to have to take care of the online schooling at the same time, which I know that became very stressful. But the remote work part became like, oh no, what do we do? How do we do this? I had one client talk about, we don't have any webcams. and the computers that our people have didn't have built-in webcams. So they want to do
no.
Zoom. We're all not able to do that. So I think we've gotten through most of that. But now your point you made about engagement and their ability to monitor, I think it's an interesting thing to where in the day and age that maybe of corporate office settings or traditional office structure, if I see you, that makes me think that you're working. And if I don't see you, that makes me think you're not working, right? It's kind of this like automatic assumption, right? Yeah, one way or the other, which I think both of them are wrong, right? Like, there's the classic
I agree.
People that go to an office and make it look like you're working and they're not doing anything. And then those that are working from home that all they do is work. They actually work more than they do stuff at home. So I don't know.
You're a great example of that.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah. To where it's interesting that people still view that way. And I think this forced them to realize how productive were we in the midst of it, because I'm a huge remote work advocate. I think it's finding balance within your family and your community and your work to create that harmony is paramount. So are there any specific things that from a engagement standpoint, and I know we do a few things and recommend to our clients digitizing as much of that as they can to manage the activity levels, but is there anything that you're seeing that clients are telling you they're working with there?
Yeah, so I think a lot of them have been moving, again, these virtual meetings where you're able to see your colleagues, you can see your managers. That's definitely something I've seen. I've seen a lot of groups do virtual happy hours where, again, it's not about work. It's really about just enjoying the company of the people that you work with. And I know that's been successful, at least of building that community. As far as other ways to engage, I think it's more of effective communication and making sure that you're being flexible. So I know that a lot of my organizations and even my own organization is really doing a good job of being flexible, knowing that there are all these additional challenges that we are all experiencing from a personal level. So flexibility is another way to make an employee really realize the type of environment that they have and they're working for, and being understanding and caring. And I think that's really the message, again, that I've heard far more than anything else about compliance changes or anything else. It's just like, I really care about my employees. I don't want them to leave. I want them to know that they're in a safe, healthy environment. And, how do I do that? And what are the right tools? So I think again, just that overall over communication and caring has really made a difference, as well as being able to connect in this virtual environment and building out that virtual strategy as you move your business forward. Most of the clients that are still at home now and not going back to work are doing that. Yeah.
No, I heard someone today on a webcast that I had in the morning that shared, if you are communicating, then you are able to share information and make sure people are informed of what's going on. If you're not communicating, then people start making their own assumptions. And oftentimes,
you know what that means?
Yeah, exactly. I won't say it. This is a PG webcast podcast. Yeah. So if you're not, they're going to start telling their own stories about whatever that is. That's and right. Whatever they have bringing up to that. So no, cool. Well, thank you for sharing that and that support. So yeah. Speaking of that, I know you've been active within HRCO and the HR community, and we were so excited to be able to bring Disrupt HR to Columbus, of which obviously we had a little bit of a snafu, but I think it's going to make it even more profound when we're able to pull it off. So tell me about your vibe and your energy toward Disrupt HR.
So one, we only can control what we can control, and I know we can't control what's been happening around us, right? So my overall feeling is, while we didn't get to meet in person in April, it's going to be the event when it happens. I participate in a lot of local events. I try to be very active in the community, getting my name out there, getting our brand out there, and I'm really passionate about that. But there's nothing, in my opinion, within the Columbus community that really is different and thought-provoking and trying to make all of us just sit back and go, huh. And so being a part of the speaker committee, I can say I am super excited about the people that are going to be on stage. This event is going to be something that everybody should be learning about, hearing about, wanting to attend. If they're not attending this year, be ready for the next one, because they are bringing some very amazing topics that are really going to challenge your traditional thinking. And I think right now we all need that. We all need to get outside of the box, get outside of this COVID stuff, get outside of the social stuff that's happening, and really just think differently and come together as a community and really start to impact each other in a positive way. So it's going to be awesome. And I'm obviously very excited. You can hear it in my voice.
Yes. Yeah, no doubt. And especially too, for me, I mean, I know I was not surprised. Maybe the thing that surprised me the most was how quickly we sold out the event. So it had that pent up demand in Columbus. And I think being so close to where the concept was founded and people knowing Jen McGlure and that whole story, I think kind of helped us promote it. But at the same time, then having this unique, as you said, thing we can't control that happens, the silver lining for me is the chance to have gotten to know the sponsors and the speakers so much better than I would have leading up to it.
Sure.
And then the roundtable that we had a month or so ago that they showcased
that was cool.
Their awesomeness. That was like, geez Louise, we are onto something. These are really, really,
I
really
love
good
that.
people, and they know their fill in the blank. And right, I was just
stuff.
Yeah, stuff. Yes, I know this is disruptive, but I don't want my kids to be, hey John, I heard you use a 4-letter word on your YouTube channel. I would hear about that. Not that they watch all these, I guess. They don't probably watch all these, but no, yeah, just the fact of how they knew their stuff. They had expertise. They were passionate about it, and they were very engaging in that forum, of which it was different, right? It's like, how do I stand out? And so you're right. I'm super excited about it. We're gonna figure it out and do it the right way, and do it in a way that's safe, as you mentioned before, and that we can then continue that community. And I think we're really on to something, and we'll always remember that as long as we have Disrupt HR in Columbus. So,
amen. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, Mary, I really appreciate your support for promoting the event, as well as being on the speaker committee with me, and especially, obviously, ADP's financial support of the concept to help us bring this to the community. So we are so excited to have it. Please keep everyone posted through all of your social media posts, Mary, so that we can continue to let people know. As of this point, we're still figuring out when we can schedule the actual event. We are doing a virtual roundtable. We mentioned one previously in April. We'll be doing one on June 25th with our sponsors. So hopefully we'll be able to see Mary and others that'll join us on their way. And this is John Bernatovich signing off, and we will see you at the next Disrupt HR video chat. And thank you, Mary, for joining.